Yo, what up, world? It's your man Swim Jim Longfoot, aka the GOAT King of America. You might not know me, but it's all good though. You're gonna get to know me after this video right here. You see what the topic is right here. So, without further ado, if you want to see more videos like this, feel free to comment. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Turn on that notification bell and keep up with your boy Swim Jim Longfoot. You know what I'm saying? I do daily vlogs, I do art videos on the channel, henceforth. And of course, topics such as this. Now, I thought about it. I was like, I could, adorn some Falcons apparel. I could, show all my Dirty Bird apparel, all that stuff. But I don't have to do all that because I'm not about to sit up here and prove, who I am and what I am. I'm from the ATL. I'm born in the ATL, Decatur raised. You feel me? So when it comes to what I have to say right here, this is entirely my opinion on the situation. You know what I'm saying? This is my opinion on the situation, and I'm just going to say it just like this. For all to see, for all to listen to. If you agree, that's what's up. If you don't, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. This is my opinion. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So, I'm going to just say it like this. The Falcons got to switch up the culture. You know what I'm saying? The Falcons have to switch up the culture. A change in culture is needed. And not saying that our culture as far as our city needs to be changed, but our culture as far as our city needs to be changed. Now, I know you was like, wait, what? Well, hey, we have a most excellent culture when it comes to music. You know what I'm saying? Our music has been top tier. If you're a real one, our culture in Atlanta has been top tier as far as music go since the 70s. We ain't just talking about the 90s, you know what I'm saying? We talking about going back to the 70s with Brick. If you know who Brick is, as a matter of fact, if you from Atlanta, you already know who Brick is. I ain't got to explain it. If you don't know, go Google him. You feel me? Go Google Brick if you don't know. You know what I'm saying? If you real Atlanta, you already know what it is. So, you know what I'm saying? Atlanta's history, Atlanta's culture has been rich for over a century now. Going back to the days of Sweet Auburn. You feel me? John Wesley Dobbs, the mayor of Sweet Auburn. You feel me? Dr. King, of course, was born here in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? This was the nucleus of the civil rights movement. You know what I'm saying? It came through Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Shout outs to the cities, in Alabama that, push towards, those freedoms and liberties during the civil rights movement from Montgomery to Selma to Birmingham. But, you know what I'm saying? But, it all ran through Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? All of those powerful people, those big names, was here in the ATL. Maynard Jackson, who became the very first black mayor of Atlanta. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? That Atlanta culture runs deep in the sense of our pride as far as us as black people. But you gotta remember another thing. Atlanta isn't just black people, and of course we got this whole situation now, in modern times, talking about Atlanta ain't a real place. It's a GTA server, all this type of stuff. Atlanta, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Most of that stuff, all of that stuff came from the transplants. If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? Most of the people who were outcasts, or not the group outcasts, but real outcasts in their own cities and couldn't do the things that they wanted to do, they all ran tuck tail and came down to Atlanta, where it was cheaper at and where they could just, I guess, be themselves. Because down here, you know what I'm saying, it's all about Southern hospitality, because we're Southern. We're from the South. So at the end of the day, as long as you cool, ain't gonna no BS, we cool with you. We cool with you, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of what. So that's why Atlanta has been known as the city too busy to hate, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? That's why our culture, our music, came, on full blast coming into the 90s with LaFace Records, Outkast, TLC, Usher, all of the such, all of those, things that happened over the past 30 years after, which was the beginning of the end for Atlanta as far as, us getting the Olympics, because that's when all of the transplants came in droves over the past 36 years, from 1990 up until the Olympic Games in 96, 30 years ago this year. This being recorded in the year 2026 as I'm talking. And so when it came to sports, you know what I'm saying? Remember, Atlanta is still, it's now been 60 plus years now, but Atlanta was still young when it came to being on the map when it came to sports. Y'all had to excuse me, I just sprayed some biofreeze on my knees. You know what I'm saying? The scent is overwhelming my nose, so that's why if I sound like I'm having trouble breathing, it's because of biofreeze. If you had some biofreeze before, you already know how strong biofreeze is. Anyway, biofreeze, sponsor your boy. Anywho, but yeah, Atlanta started getting major sports in the 60s, in the late 60s, you know what I'm saying? And during that same time that the civil rights movement was coming about, you know what I'm saying, where we were starting to get a name, get an imprint on the national level as far as that go. You know what I'm saying? The Braves came from Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? That of course was a major baseball team. They came from Milwaukee and they came down here. Then the Falcons was created. The Atlanta Falcons, which happens to be the first hometown team that was created here. And that's what's so special about the Falcons in the sense. The Falcons and of course the soccer team, the Atlanta United, that was made 10 years ago, a decade ago. And then of course the Hawks came from St. Louis and came down here, the Atlanta Hawks. So, but with the Falcons, this is our football team that has been around now for 60 years, since 1966. You know what I'm saying? Came, our football team that was in the NFC West when it first started, and then of course when they realigned the divisions back in 2002, it became a part of the NFC South. And so in that time in the Falcons history, we've been of course to 2 Super Bowls. The first one of course was Super Bowl 33. I was 18 at the time. They didn't go to another Super Bowl for a whole another freaking 18 years. It took my whole life again for them to make it back to the Super Bowl, from Super Bowl 33 to Super Bowl 51. And we ain't gonna talk about that because you already know what happened in Super Bowl 51. That's almost 10 years ago now. 10 years ago this season is the 2016-17 season where we went to Super Bowl 51, and of course, yeah, that. But here we are in 2026. It's the off season now. Super Bowl 60 is a couple of weeks away. As I record this video, the Seahawks and the Patriots are rematching Super Bowl 49, which before 51 I thought was the worst loss ever in Super Bowl history until 51 happened. But anyway, I'm just here to say, yeah, I know with the new coach that we just hired, Kevin Stefanski, just coming from Cleveland. This past year, of course, with the Shedeur Sanders situation, blah, 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 whatever. Hey, I wasn't in the locker room. I don't know what them dudes said to each other, how they this, that, and the third. All what you doing is going by hearsay about what happened in another city that ain't got nothing to do with Atlanta. You feel me? Like, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? If he does good here, that's what I want to see. I want to see a coach that's going to actually know how to coach, not sit on the sidelines chewing gum like the fool we just fired. You know what I'm saying? Talking about we gonna find a way, and then find a way after it don't matter anymore. Like, who cares? If you had won 5 straight, you would still have your job right now. You would at least have smelled the playoffs, and you definitely would have been back this year coming up. But you know what I'm saying? You already know when it comes to us. You know what I'm saying? There's only so much time they're gonna give you, and if you ain't showing up, if you ain't showing no type of progress, then you gotta go. And at the end of the day, it wasn't just about he had a hurt quarterback. Kirk Cousins, lied about his injuries last year, and then Michael Penix Jr., blah blah blah, all that type of stuff. It was time management. Anybody with one eye could have saw what he was not doing on the sidelines if he watched every game this season. You know what I'm saying? It was most definitely the coaching, special teams, and the head coaching. You know what I'm saying? And of course the offensive coordinating. All of that was jacked up on every level. Only the silver lining of all of that is the defensive coordinator and how he got down, which is why he got killed. You know what I'm saying? So, at this point, you know what I'm saying, you're most definitely looking forward to seeing what can happen. You feel me? Because it is past time to see some good results in the city. You know what I'm saying? Some good results for this team. You know what I'm saying? Because we're a city that's starving for, some accolades when it comes to sports. The Braves have won 2 championships since they've been here, albeit they were nearly 30 years apart from each other back in the 90s. You know, they went to, you know, at that time we was becoming the Buffalo Bills of baseball until we finally won in '95. And, you know, and we went to two more World Series after that, and that was it, you know, and didn't go again until 2021. You know what I'm saying? That's now been about to be 5 years ago now, you know. And with the soccer team has been to a championship and won, you know what I'm saying, in its second year. The Atlanta United won the MLS Cup in their second year, but haven't been back on that level since. So hopefully now that they have their original coach who took them to the MLS Cup again, maybe we can see some great results this go around, this season coming up. And now here we are in since that last Super Bowl 10 years ago, this season coming up, we've been through 1, 2, 3, 4 head coaches, if I'm not mistaken, from old boy who was here, you know what I'm saying, who's in Washington right now. Forgive me, his name escaping me right now. From him to was it 2 coaches? I can't keep up. I don't know all those statistics. I don't be keeping up with all these folk, but I just know the last 2 coaches, of course, suck monkey tail. You feel me? Straight up. You know what I'm saying? Arthur Smith and Raheem, they both suck. I think we all can agree on that. And so all we can do right now with this new coach who people are starting to call Coach Ski, you know, we went from Frank Ski on the radio to Coach Ski on the field. So hopefully this guy can do what needs to be done, and that's win. You feel me? That's what the culture needs to be evolve into, winning. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole, you know, hip hop version of Atlanta, you know, that's all well and good, but you know what I'm saying, if that's all we got to rely on in terms of just the musical aspect of Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, we got to imply that with the sports aspect as well. Deion Sanders, legendary, a Hall of Fame football player, you know what I'm saying, started here in Atlanta, but he didn't finish here in Atlanta. He didn't get us no Super Bowls, you know what I'm saying, he got his trophies elsewhere, you know what I'm saying, and many blessings to him and his family, you know what I'm saying, but all of it, what happened in Cleveland, that's in Cleveland. I ain't got nothing to do with Cleveland. I'm in Atlanta. I'm in ATL, ho, you feel me? So what we do down here is what we need to do that we haven't been doing, and that's winning. We need to get back to winning. If you agree with me, you know what I'm saying, feel free to comment below, you know what I'm saying, because all of the people who have, you know, quote unquote defined the culture or defined Falcons football, I mean, we don't have any hometown heroes. I mean, Keith Brooklyn was from Georgia, played for Georgia Tech and was a Falcon for many years, you know what I'm saying, coming straight, out of Georgia Tech to the Falcons. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much the closest hometown hero we got as far as, you know, from Georgia as far as it goes. But everybody else, you know, was not from here. And yeah, they, you know, cemented their time here in Atlanta. You know, of course, you know, the whole Vic thing is a mixed bag. But, you know, I'm just going to keep it true on that one, too. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, you know, I mean, I know K. Sarah, you know, things happen. And, you know, and he still had a good career after he got out, you know what I'm saying, after the whole situation. But that whole situation, had he been on his A game instead of being on that game, you know what I'm saying, we would have had something so much better. You feel me? Had he been prioritized and focused on the game at hand instead of the BS, you know what I'm saying, he would have finished his career here, and we probably could have had a Super Bowl with Vic. But we did not. You know what I'm saying? We did not. I'm the same age as Vic, so you know, that time for my generation has come and gone. We ain't out here playing football no more unless it's for fun. We ain't in the league no more running around. Them days over. They over. And that's the crazy part. Like, you know, people who were born when Vic started playing for the Falcons, when he was playing for the Falcons, are now playing in the NFL. Drake London was born in 2001. You know, Drake London was born in 2001. Michael Penix was born in 2001. You know what I'm saying? We got folks born in the 2000s who are on the field now. You feel me? That's wild. That's wild. And all we can do now is, you know, we can't stay stuck in the culture of losing, because that's what we've been in for 60 years. We've been in a culture of losing. Let's keep it real. If you want to keep it 100, keep it 100. We've been in a culture of losing for the past 60 years. It's time to end that. You know what I'm saying? Every time I'm at the games, man, I see the passion from the fans who come in there every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Who tired of it, who can see every play that's being played and looking at it like, what the F? You know what I'm saying? It's almost become to the point where it's like, okay, like, tell me if this is the truth or not. Are y'all just getting paid to lose? Are y'all out there? Are we in bizarro world? Is losing the culture? Are you trying to become the most losingest team ever? Because if that's what it is, then let me know, so I ain't gotta be hyped up about it no more. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I can just be like, okay, yeah, they play to lose. You know what I'm saying? They don't play to win, they play to lose. So that's why I say, hey, the culture gotta change. You know what I'm saying? And it gotta change for the better. You know what I'm saying? Because, I don't smoke, I don't drink. You know what I'm saying? I like lemon pepper wings, but I like braised wings better. China cafeteria all day. You know what I'm saying? If I had to choose between lemon pepper or braised wings. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But lemon pepper is a good second. You feel me? Everybody like lemon pepper wet. Like, I don't know. Like, hey, I'm an outcast for real. I'm not a part of the, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, hip hop duo Outcast. I'm an outcast for real. So, everybody want to lean this way, I'm over here. And that ain't saying anything, you know what I'm saying? That's just saying, hey, I don't follow the crowd. I've never been a crowd follower. I never been like, oh, everybody doing that, I'm gonna do that too. No. That's why, when it comes to where we need to be at in this whole situation, we need to be in a better spot, y'all. And you know what I'm saying? I felt like this was apparent for me to say, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I ain't all lined up looking like I got $1 million, but I got $1 million thoughts though. I got $1 million thoughts up in here. Speaking of, you know what I'm saying, if you want to, of course, be a part of the culture when it comes to comic books about heroes from the ATL, superheroes from the ATL, go check me out. I am the co-founder of UGI Studios here in the ATL. We got some comic books out such as Jelly Bean Dream, The Force, Savage Space Toast, which is coming soon. Spectacular, which is the story about a young woman who acquires the powers of a goddess and uses them to become a superhero. You know what I'm saying? We got some stuff out here, you know what I'm saying? If you want to help, uplift the culture, elevate the culture, you know what I'm saying, to a winning aspect, that's what we on. Because I'm not, if I had to just base myself around this team, I would have been in a loony bin, you feel me? Because, they have been losing for 60 years. I'm here to win, you feel me? I'm here to win, and I hope this go around, this team is here to win as well. Back-to-back Super Bowl champions, 61 and 62. 62 gonna be in Atlanta, so we gotta, hey, I don't know who part of the Super Bowl committee, but we gotta see some ATL stuff this go around. Maroon 5 wasn't popping in the Super Bowl in 2019, Super Bowl 53. That was not it. We need to see some ATL stuff here in 62. You feel me? In 2028. Shout outs to my mom, who was a Falcons fan. You know what I'm saying? She liked watching them on Sundays. Her phrase for the defense was intercept or sack them. That's what she used to say all the time. Rest in peace to her. Shout outs to my brother-in-law, who was one of the biggest Falcon fans that I knew. He died right before the 2016-17 season started. As soon as he died, I knew that they were going to the Super Bowl. I didn't know if they were going to win or not, but I knew without a shadow of a doubt, 100% they were going to win. And that last game at the Georgia Dome, when they destroyed the Packers in the NFC Championship, I remember just being there, like, face wet with tears. I was just ecstatic and happy, you know what I'm saying? And of course it all ended after, the third going into the fourth quarter of Super Bowl 51. So yeah, anyway, but like my mama used to say though, win or lose, they still get paid. So if you want to have high blood pressure and have strokes and heart attacks off this team, then go right on ahead. I ain't gonna stop you. Well, I'm here to just say it like this: we got to be on top of the culture and change the culture. you know what I'm saying, change the culture for the better. We got to, you know, let folks know that, hey, you know what I'm saying, this is our time. This is our time to win, because we've been a city that has been going forward and pushing forward on everything for a long time. It's time for us to go forward with our sports teams as well, unless these sports teams were really a distraction to keep us from moving forward as a culture for real. Because after 60 plus years of losing, it makes you wonder if they want us to win. You feel me? Anyways, feel free to comment below. You know, I'm here every day. As long as I'm breathing, I'm going to be here every day on the channel. So I appreciate y'all. Stay blessed up and rise up. One love.